Hello, today I'm going to show you how to solve LeetCode problem 417 Pacific Atlantic water flow, where in this problem we will be finding the paths or nodes that can have water both flow to the Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean. This can only happen if two adjacent squares have a value that is less than it. For example, this square 3 right here can flow upward, it can flow to the right, and it can flow downward. So there would have to be a path that can connect from the left side to the right side for this to be true. So for example, in the middle here, we have 5, which there's a path that exists. For example, we go up, and then left. They connect the two of them. Let me show you how to solve this. So for a lot of matrix problems, I like to just create an array of the 4 cardinal directions. This we will be using later since we are going to be checking out all the different directions. So I just go ahead and create this. Here, I like to make a little quick valid function where you can go and check if it's a valid direction or not, or we can simply return 0, which is less than or equal to rho, which is less than length of heights, 0, less than or equal to column, which can be less than or equal to length, heights, 0. Again, this is totally not required, but I find that it cleans up the depth first search that we're going to be doing later. You can also create a couple different things. You can grab the rows, columns, length, heights, bracket 0. Again, help us out later. Finally, we need a Pacific and Atlantic set. Now, a familiar set is basically hacking up all the keys, and the main benefit for this problem is going to be O of 1 lookups. So with that, let's go ahead and define our DFS. Take a couple different things. We're going to take a row, we're going to take a column, we're going to take visited, which is going to be these sets for Pacific and Atlantic. And we're going to have the previous height. First thing we're going to do is check the base case, which in this problem will be if not valid for RC in visited, or if heights, bracket row, bracket C, is less than the previous height. Because again, we're starting from the edges and working inward with our depth first search. And so with checking these valid coordinates, checking if the coordinates are valid, if we haven't explored it yet, and if the heights are too short, we can just return for this base case. And if not, we're good to go. We can then do visited.add R.C. And now we will depth first search from here. So we're going to do 4. I'm going to call it direction row and direction column in directions. We are then going to do DFS R plus DR C plus DC visited, and then heights bracket RC. And that is our depth first search. Now we need to go about running through it for each, the Atlantic and the Pacific. So we're going to say for column in range columns. We then going to need to do 2 different checks, one for Pacific, one for Atlantic, for this depth first search. So for the Atlantic, since we're going to be adjusting columns, a row is always going to be 0. Column will be column. Visited will be pack. The previous height is going to be heights, bracket 0, bracket column. For Atlantic, we're doing the same DFS, but this will be for the bottom row. So this will be E rows minus 1, column, Atlantic, heights, rows minus 1 and column. And now we're going to do the same operation, but for the rows, which for the rows is going to be the far left column and the far right column. So row in range rows. First, which would be BFS, row, column 0, pack, and heights, bracket row, bracket 0. Now we're going to do an equivalent one for Atlantic. BFS, for this column, or for this row, it'll be row. And for the column is going to be columns minus 1. We're then going to do Atlantic. And then going to be heights, bracket row, bracket calls, minus 1. For that, we should have those populated. We can now do a final check in the end. So we will do for row in range rows. Oops. Column in range columns. I'm going to call point is going to equal row, comma, column. And this point is going to be, we're going to be checking visited. It's going to be visited.add. Parentheses right there. We're going to say if point in Pacific and point in Atlantic. The result array, we would then do result.append, parentheses, brackets, row, column, can return a result. See if this is working, if I made any typos. Valid. Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, just a little typo with my function name where I was checking if it was a valid direction. And with that, we can go ahead and hit submit. And for the complexity of this, because of this for loop right here, we're going to be doing O of n times m operations. And with that, thank you.